Good morning, Reverend Tony here, out for a walk with Pancake, thinking about poetry. It's National Poetry Month, and I almost missed getting a morning walk in thinking about my favorite poems. But that's what I'm thinking about today. Take a walk with me, and with Pancake. Thanks for watching. If you're new to this channel, or even if you've been watching us for a while, please subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, ring that notification bell so we can let you know when we've made a new video. One of my favorite poems is William Butler Yeats's The Stolen Child, especially the refrain, "Come away, O human child, to the water and the wild, with the fairy hand in hand, from a world more full of weeping than you can understand." Being a guitar player, one of my favorite poems is The Guitarist. With what attentive courtesy he bent over his instrument, not as a lordly conqueror who could command both wire and wood, but as a man with a loved woman might, inquiring with delight what slight essential things she had to say before they started, he and she, to play. Favorite poem, I think, is Dylan Thomas's Poem in October. My birthday is in the spring, but sometimes I wish it were in October in the fall, so this would be even closer to home for me, but I love it anyway. Poem in October. Was my 30th year to heaven woke to my hearing from harbor and neighbor wood, and the mussel pooled in the heron priested shore. The morning beckon with water praying and call of seagull and rook, and the knock of sailing boats on the net-webbed wall, myself to set foot that second in the still sleeping town and set forth. My birthday began with the water birds and the birds of the winged trees flying my name above the farms and the white horses, and I rose in rainy autumn and walked abroad in a shower of all my days. High tide and the heron dived when I took the road over the border, and the gates of the town closed as the town awoke. A springful of larks in a rolling cloud, and the roadside brushes brimming with whistling blackbirds, and the sun of October summery on the hill's shoulder. Here where fond climates and sweet singers suddenly come in the morning, where I wandered and listened to the rain-ringing wind blow cold in the wood far away under me. Pale rain over the dwindling harbor, and over the sea-wet church the size of a snail, with its horns through mist, and the castle brown as owls, but all the gardens of spring and summer were blooming in the tall tales beyond the border and under the lark-full cloud. There could I marvel my birthday away, but the weather it turned away from the blithe country, and down the other air and the blue-altered sky streamed again a wonder of summer, with apples, pears, and red currants, and I saw it in the turning so clearly, a child's forgotten mornings, when he walked with his mother through the parables of sunlight and the legends of the green chapels. And the twice-told fields of infancy, that his tears burned my cheeks and his heart moved in mine. These were the woods, the river, the sea, where a boy, in the listening summertime of the dead, whispered the truth of his joy to the trees and the stones and the fish and the tide, and the mystery sang alive still in the water and singing birds. And there could I marvel my birthday away, but the weather turned round, and the true joy of the long-dead child sang burning in the sun. It was my 30th year to heaven stood there in the summer noon, though the town below lay leaved with October blood. Oh, may my heart's truth still be sung on this high hill in a year's turning.
What do women want? I want a red dress. I want it flimsy and cheap. I want it too tight. I want to wear it until someone tears it off me. I want it sleeveless and backless, this dress, so no one has to guess what's underneath. I want to walk down the street past Thrifty's and the hardware store with all those keys glittering in the window, Past Mr. and Mrs. Wong selling day-old donuts in their cafe, past the Guerra brothers slinging pigs from the truck and onto the dolly, hoisting the slick snouts over their shoulders. I want to walk like I'm the only woman on earth and I can have my pick. I want that red dress bad. I want it to confirm your worst fears about me, to show you how little I care about you or anything except what I want. When I find it, I'll pull that garment from its hanger like I'm choosing a body to carry me into this world, through the birth cries and the love cries too, and I'll wear it like bones, like skin. It'll be the goddamn dress they bury me in.
When I heard the learned astronomer, when the proofs, the figures were ranged in columns before me, when I was shown the charts and diagrams to add, divide, and measure them, when I sitting heard the astronomer where he lectured with much applause in the lecture room, how soon unaccountable I became tired and sick, till rising and gliding out I wandered off by myself in the mystical moist night air, and from time to time looked up in perfect silence at the stars. My dad introduced me to Robert Frost when I was very young. When I was in high school, two of Frost's poems were among my favorites that I would go back to again and again, and I still have over the years. One is "Nothing gold can stay. Nature's first green is gold. Her hardest hue to hold. Her early leaf's a flower, but only so an hour. Then leaf subsides to leaf. So Eden sank to grief, so dawn goes down to day. Nothing gold can stay." Fire and Ice was maybe my favorite poem when I was in high school. What with the constant threat of nuclear war hanging over us, and films like The Next Day or The Day After the nuclear holocaust on TV and things like that. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But I think I know enough of hate to know that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. I read After Apple Picking at my father's memorial service a number of years ago. It was one of his favorites and still one of mine. After Apple Picking. My long two-pointed ladder sticking through a tree toward heaven still, and there's a barrel that I didn't fill beside it, and there may be 2 or 3 apples I didn't pick upon some bough. But I am done with apple picking now. Essence of winter sleep is on the night, the scent of apples I am drowsing off. I cannot rub the strangeness from my sight I got looking through a pane of glass I skimmed this morning from the drinking trough and held against the world of hoary grass. It melted, and I let it fall and break. But I was well upon my way to sleep before it fell, and I could tell what form my dreaming was about to take. Magnified apples appear and disappear, stem end and blossom end, and every fleck of russet showing clear. My instep arch not only keeps the ache, it keeps the pressure of a ladder round. I feel the ladder sway as the boughs bend, and I keep hearing from the cellar bin the rumbling sound of load on load of apples coming in. For I have had too much of apple picking. I am overtired of the great harvest I myself desired. There were 10,000 fruit to touch, cherish in hand, lift down and not let fall. For all that struck the earth, no matter if not bruised or spiked with stubble, went surely to the cider apple heap as of no worth. One can see what will trouble this sleep of mine, whatever sleep it is. Were he not gone, the woodchuck could say whether it's like his long sleep as I describe its coming on, or just some human sleep. Once again, we thank you for taking a walk with us. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell, like the video, leave me a comment. Pancake would love to know what you thought of my favorite poems. Until next time, Pancake and I love you. We'll see you next time.